Section 27 of the Expedition of Humphry Clinker. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. The Expedition of Humphry Clinker by Tobias Smollett. Section 27. To Mrs. Mary Jones at Brambleton-hall. Dear Molly, we are all upon the ving. Hey for London, girl! Fex, we have been long enough here, for we're all turned topsy-turvy. Mistress has excarded Sir Ulic for kicking of Chowder, and I have sent O'Frizzle away with a flea in his ear. I've shown him how little I minded his tinsey and his long tail. A fellor who would think for to go, for to offer, to take up with a dirty trollop under my nose, I catched him in the very feet, coming out of the housemaid's garret. But I have given the dirty slut a cicerary. Oh, Molly, the sarvants at Bath are devils in garnet. They light the candle at both ends. Here's nothing but jinketing and wasting and thieving and tricking and trigging, and then they are never content. They won't suffer the squire and mistress to stay any longer, because they have been already above 3 weeks in the house, and they look for a couple of guineas apiece at our going away, and this is a parquisite they expect every month in the season. Being as how no family has a right to stay longer than 4 weeks in the same lodgings, and so the cuck swears she will pin the dish-clout to mistress's tail, and the housemaid vows she'll put cowwitch in master's bed, if so be he don't discamp without further ado. I don't blame them for making the most of their market, in the way of veils and parquisites, and I defy the devil to say I am a tale-carrier, or ever brought a poor sarvant into trouble, but then they oft to have some conscience, in wronging those that be sarvants like themselves. For you must know, Molly, I missed 3/4 of blonde lace, and a remnant of muslin, and my silver thimble, which was the gift of true love. They were all in my work-basket, that I left upon the table in the sarvants' hall, when mistress's bell rung. But if they had been under lock and key, 'twould have been all the same, for there are double keys to all the locks in Bath, and they say as how the very teeth on't safe in your head, if you sleep with your mouth open. And so says I to myself, them things could not go without hands, and so I'll watch their waters, and so I did with a vitness. For then it was I found Bet consarned with O'Frizzle. And as the cuck had thrown her slush at me, because I had taken part with Chowder when he fit, with the turnspit, I resolved to make a clear kitchen, and throw some of her fat into the fire. I catched the charwoman coming out with her load in the morning, before she thought I was up, and brought her to mistress with her whole cargo. Mary, what dost think she got in the name of God? Her buckets were foaming full of our best beer, and her lap was stuffed with a cold tongue, part of a buttock of beef, half a turkey, and a swinging lump of butter, and the matter of 10 mould candles, that had scarce ever been lit. The cuck brazened it out, and said it was her right to rummage the pantry, and she was ready for to go before the mayor, that he had been her potticary many years, and would never think of hurting a poor sarvant, for giving away the scraps of the kitchen. I went another way to work with Madam Betty, because she had been saucy, and called me scandalous names, and said O'Frizzle couldn't abide me, and 20 other odorous falsehoods. I got a warrant from the mayor, and her box being sarched by the constable, my things came out sure enough, besides a full pound of wax candles, and a nightcap of mistress, that I could swear to on my cooperel oath. Oh, then Madam Mopstick came upon her merry bones, and as the squire wouldn't hear of a persecution, she scaped a skewering, but the longest day she has to live. She'll remember your humble servant, W. Jenkins, Bath, May 15. If the hind should come again before we are gone, pray send me the shift and apron, with the vite gallow manky shoes, which you'll find in my pillow-bear. Sarvice to Saul. End of Section 27. Recording by Trisha G.